From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of ParksCenter. My name's Ben, and joining me on tonight's show, we have Allison.
Hey, everyone.
We have Jill. Jill, mute.
Jill,
maybe?
Say something.
Jill, are you there?
It's telling me to unmute, and that's just going to be my intro from now on, is me talking.
We've got Tyler.
Oh, prideful hello from Canada.
And Pete.
Sivako.
There we
What's
go.
up, everybody?
All right, kicking off tonight's show, we have a hashtag, and I don't like it when we have to start off with hashtags because it usually means not great things are happening. Disney World is rumored to be replacing the Country Bear Jamboree with a Toy Story marionette show for Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. Why on earth they're deciding to replace a classic attraction for the 50th anniversary of the park is absolutely beyond me. But if sources inside the company are to be believed, this is in fact coming relatively quickly. Like, shutdown of the existing attraction is going to be about as quick as when we found out that Great Movie Ride was going. When we found out about that, this is a bit of a blow to a lot of people, myself included. I've really liked this attraction. And it's kind of sad to see a classic going like this.
That was our moment of silence.
Yeah. Deserved.
I remember as a kid not really enjoying it, and I remember now as an adult finding it cheesy and full of love, I guess. It's enjoyable in such an odd way. It's like going on Carousel of Progress. It's become this classic attraction that's like a little sort of time capsule of when it was made and the kind of content that's in it. And I know that like there might be some kids who are like very young who like it, and then when you get to be like a teenager, I guess it's just like, I don't really want to watch this. But then a new appreciation comes from it, I guess. How does anyone else feel about it?
I like that you said it's full of love, Tyler, because whatever else you think about this attraction, and I think a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia and a lot of love for it. That said, I also think people don't really make it a priority, which is obviously part of the issue here. And honestly, I'm one of those people. Like, I was just in Disney last week, and I did not go see Country Bears. It wasn't even kind of on the radar of things I wanted to make sure I got to. Obviously now, the story dropped 2 days after I left, and now I wish I had gone. But there's Carousel I have a lot of love for because I have a lot of good memories of that from being a kid, and same with Tiki Room. And for some reason, Country Bears doesn't tick that box for me. I don't know why. And I feel like it is, unpopular opinion maybe, but it's dated, and I see why they're talking about replacing it solely based on how it appeals to people today. However, that said, it is a classic attraction. It's a piece of Walt. And it's always a shame when we lose something like that. I think the thing that frustrates me is if this goes away, it's just gone. There's nowhere, they can't take the bears and put them in some museum because, as we've talked about many times, such a thing doesn't exist. And I think it's a shame that, this is a piece of Disney history that is tragic to lose, and not being able to have any of that live anywhere anymore is really a shame, even if from an appeal standpoint, it's not a huge draw in the parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel similarly.
No, go ahead.
Every time I've gone in there, I feel like most of the audience has no idea what it is, and then they're confused and not a little frustrated as they're leaving. But it's this huge piece of history, and although to be fair, the last time I was in there was during VI pass holder night, and then everyone knew exactly what they were getting into, and it was such a fun show because there was so much, as we've already said, love in the room. The biggest issue to me is what they're replacing it with, because there are major issues there for me with theming. Because Mr. Chapek, just because this toy set is Western themed does not mean it fits Frontierland. 90s toys and marionettes do not scream Old West to me. There's already oversaturation with Toy Story at Walt Disney World. On the opposite side of the park, we've got a Buzz Lightyear ride. There's an entire land in Hollywood Studios. Right now, it's a very large portion of the park. There are 3 rides. That's literally half the rides in Hollywood Studios. So there's just too much Toy Story at Walt Disney World. And then internationally, we've got Toy Story lands in Paris, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and plus a hotel also in Shanghai. So we're losing a classic that was designed specifically for the parks, that has so much loyal fandom, for an overused IP that doesn't fit with the theming of the land. And I think sometimes things don't have to fit perfectly with the theme of the land. Like things can be executed well or really made to fit the theming, because I didn't expect Pandora would fit as well as it does.
Yeah.
Really well done. But I have zero confidence that that's what will happen here. We're going to get a slapdash Toy Story puppets that will please neither die-hard fans nor the new park guests, and it's going to be garbage.
The reason I said heart... Oh, yeah, go on, Pete.
No, I was gonna say, if I gotta say a little something about this. I agree with everyone. Like, I don't see the reason I'm taking this out. I think it did needed to be brought up to date, if you will. If they would have said they were taking this under for a major refurb and redoing the bears, redoing the clicking on the ceiling, on the wall, it's very old school, and you can tell it's an old show. So with that being said, I would just say, let's go in, let's refurb the whole thing, maybe update even the story. You could even add a new character, take away, hopefully, I don't know, it keeps it around, and you don't have any of this outrage and uproar from everybody else. Yeah. But yeah, it's sad to see it go. I mean, anything that Walt Disney touched, to me, is like something that should be sacred.
Yeah, it's at least something that should be preserved.
Yeah. Moving on from there, though, to something that's at least I don't know. I think it's positive news. We'll see what you folks think of this. Disney announces that there's going to be pass holder previews for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. So this is something that for some annual passes, it's Platinum, Platinum Plus, and Premier being the bi-coastal one, if I remember correctly. Those pass holders will have the opportunity to get a special preview of the land with the suggested start date for these previews of August 11th. That date isn't confirmed yet, but it is confirmed that there will be previews. I think it's good that they're doing this, but I do not like the narrow band of passes they're allowing to do this.
Yeah, my biggest fear is that, I don't know if anyone's ever taken part of this. I have. They basically just shoot you an email at random that says, like, hey, you can go sign up. And, like, if one of your good friends or family doesn't tell you about it when you actually go to read that email, unless you're constantly refreshing, then you're going to miss it. You're going to miss this opportunity because they say, sorry, it'll put you on hold forever, and then say, sorry, the event's sold out. These are going to go so fast. I mean, they went super fast for Toy Story Land, and then that was not even a preview. It was 2 months after it opened. You can come in at like 7 in the morning. So if that flew out and sold out early, this is going to go so quickly. I wish there was going to be more of a system where they give you a day's notice and say, you can sign in from 1 to 1:30, and then everyone gets it at the same time. You have notice, and then it's a free-for-all. But it's not even a true lottery the way they do it now.
Yeah. Like right now, it's a lot more just like a fastest finger kind of deal, which is not what you want.
I think there's 2 really positive things about this. I take that back. There's one really positive thing about this, which is the fact that they're not charging for it. Because I know that was a big rumor that was up for discussion. Is this going to be the start of Disney starting to charge for AP previews? So I'm really relieved to see that they're not. However, as we're going to talk about in our next story, they jacked up prices, and they just conveniently announced this like right at the same time. It was like they they jacked up prices for APs, and then they were like, well, we're going to give you Star Wars previews, and we're going to give you water parks, and we're going to give you a free ornament at Villains After Hours. Like, there was all this stuff that they put out
If you go to a
literally
paid
at the
event.
exact same time. Yeah. Literally
Yeah, really.
the exact same time as some sort of way to try to cushion the blow of the price increase. So I think if they hadn't increased prices, then it may have been a different story as to whether they charged for the AP previews. But I think what they're charging in the price increase is more than compensating for what an AP preview might cost.
Yeah. I think honestly, I'm just going to take advantage of that and make up some lost time. Let's move into those pass increases. So the annual pass prices have gone up yet again, which is this keeps happening, and it's getting worse and worse every time. It's not just matching inflation here. This is kind of ridiculous. The Platinum Plus pass, that bi-coastal pass, has gone up by, it looks like about $150 if you're in state. Out of state, it looks like is a little bit more than that, closer to $200. The only thing that did not change is the Theme Park Select Pass stayed constant at $439, but everything else went up at least a little bit here. This is kind of nutty. Can we stop? Also, I lied a little bit. That's the Premier Passport, which is the bi-coastal one, and that's now up to $2,100. So that's that before tax, mind you. So this is absurd, folks. This is trying to get to Disney World is not cheap anymore, and you someone please take over. I can't.
Well, this is it. They gotta test this out. I mean, they can do whatever they want right now, and they're getting away with it. They did it last year when they changed over the daily ticket pricing for everyone else. Then the new Galaxy's Edge was coming, and people are still coming. They're still showing up. They're still getting their crowds. This holiday season was very busy. Mm-hmm. Granted, right now they're seeing that not a lot of people are going, probably because Galaxy's Edge isn't open yet, and they're holding out. So now they have the Bring a Friend promotion if you're an AP. They have all these other discounted events or all these special events where you can come into the park starting at sometimes as early as 3 p.m. and stay in the park till midnight. And it's cheaper than a ticket anyway. I mean, they're doing all these promotions to bring people in. That they're doing a Magic Your Way ticket it averages out to, I think, being like $50-something a day if you buy that. It's just all these promotions. So we're going to see. They're testing it out. They'll see what the response is. I think they're getting a lot of flack. I don't think they'll ever lower it, but I feel like maybe next year you'll see it only bounce a couple of percent to even it out. But we'll see what happens. I'm glad I'm moving to Florida in 2 months because then I can get my Florida pass instead. I save money.
Rate, yeah.
Well, and so that to me is one of the really crummy parts of this. You know, if you're a Florida resident and you can go 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year, even you're getting more value out of that pass than buying tickets. But for out-of-state people, like, I can't go 8 times a year. So suddenly it's starting to not be a value for me, you know? Like, they jacked up the out-of-state because out-of-state people can only buy Platinum or Platinum Plus. We don't have any of the other options that Florida residents have. Yep. So you're charging me almost $1,200 for what if I can only get there 2 or 3 times? Now it's not worth it for me anymore. You know, this was the first year it ever made sense for me to be an AP, and it's kind of looking like it's going to be the last year.
They're trying to figure out what the ceiling is on the prices and how that affects crowds, I think. And I think what we've seen so far is that they've still got so much more room for upward price increases over the next couple of years because it's, as Pete said, it's not affecting overall park attendance. So where is the ceiling? I say we all boycott for like 6 months and see what they do. Maybe we'll go back to like prices of 2003 level because that's the sweet spot for me.
I will say, I'm sorry, I was just going to say quick, literally the day this price increase came out, I got a survey from Disney about my annual pass, and I made it abundantly clear. That
I loved your responses.
But I was like, oh, convenient. You sent me a survey about something I'm really ticked off about. Thank you.
I have some relatively strong opinions about what Disney should be doing with their annual passes, but I'll talk about that in the post show. Moving on to an alternative, if the annual pass is too expensive for you, why not consider just going to the water parks instead?
Oh,
So
God.
Disney now introduces the Summer Splash Pass, which gives annual pass holders unlimited water park access all summer. So beginning July 5th, pass holders will be able to purchase this new pass. So this isn't even an alternative to the annual pass. I stand corrected. This is an add-on. Folks, this is in case you want to give Disney more money in addition to the more money you're already giving them for the same thing. Now you can pay $69 plus tax for a water park pass.
I feel like there's a bad
No.
taste in Ben's mouth right now for this, but
A little
really, this is actually like the best deal. That after 2 p.m. pass in particular is like an unbelievable deal because most people only spend like 3, maybe 4 hours in a water park anyway. So you can do that literally every day all summer. And if you live in Florida, that's like an amazing thing you can do. Bring the kids, and it's like a beautiful and clean water park. It's super hot in the summer at that time. It's like honestly the best thing you can do, and one of the best deals to be had at Walt Disney World, and we're getting fewer and fewer of those, so I'm going to celebrate the wins.
That's
fair.
This is not a bad deal if you're a parent who lives in the Orlando area with children. It's fantastic. You can go there, let them run amok, bring the wave pool. It's great. But it just makes no sense on any other front. I mean, like, unless, first of all, you can do the whole entire water park. No one rope drops a water park. I've done it now 2 or 3 times. And we did every ride in the park in somewhere between, I'm not joking, 65 to 80 minutes. And we did every single ride in the park. So, like, even if you show up a little late or whatever, you could spend 2-3 hours there and still get most of it done. We went on an off day for Stage 89, and we walked in, casually. We didn't really walk on rides or run. It was a group of, like, 15 of us. We did every ride in the first maybe 2 hours. And that was, you could go, so many easier ways to save your money.
There were other people there. We literally never had there was no line. Well, I mean, slides are like, 20 seconds long? Of course, there's no line for it. People went straight to the wave pool, and that was pretty much it. I was about to agree that, like, if you live there, that's not bad because you'll still go back there if it's a water park you've already especially paid for. But adding it on, no, it doesn't even seem like it makes sense at all.
Yeah. I'm a little fed up with Disney's money grabbing right now. Like they've increased parking prices at the same time. They're increasing dining plan prices at the same time. I'm done. I'm done with it.
It also kind of screws over from what you sold APs originally, because if you got the difference between, like, whenever I will have bought before moving, the Platinum Plus and then the regular Platinum Pass, the only difference is the water parks, and it's $100 more. So now you're telling me, I could have saved money, just waited for the $69 promotion, and I would have saved $31, whatever it is.
Yeah, except you only get it for 2 months as opposed to all year long.
You're only going to use it for those 2 months.
What if you're one of those people that exactly... Most of the time, the water's not that hot, or you're spending your time going to the parks because you don't know if you're going to, like, a super hot day or not. The summer, and you have families that just go down during the summer. Not everyone goes down like us all the time, like maniacs.
Yeah.
But then they're probably not APs, so they can't take advantage of this offer.
That's not true. Anyone who goes to Disney twice, like, as on vacation, at least previously, before this price jump,
I was going to say not anymore.
Yeah, that was the old advice.
Before this price jump. But last year, so anyone who went, like, in the beginning of the summer or end of the summer, it paid itself off if you buy an AP. I was called it an AP.
Well, at least Disney's taking all that money and putting it to good use for the maintenance of their attractions. Oh. So Primeval World unexpectedly closed on June 17th. It has not opened back up yet.
Okay.
Nobody's hurt this time, so that's good.
That we know of.
That we know of. That's fair. There might be some cover up here, but that's...
I got so excited. I was hoping they were going to bulldoze the entire area.
Please.
So,
right?
I was very excited
things you
when
could
I
tear
heard
down and no one would care.
Ugh, this is the worst area. If you're a fan of this area, I'm sorry. But go to your local carnival. Support small businesses.
right?
Yeah.
You could ride pretty much the exact same ride.
We just did a ride rehab.
I think the
about
theming
this
is actually cute.
I mean, it is a little cute, but like I feel like you can get that cute theme anywhere.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but it's well themed and like it's retro, and I think that's cute. That said, this ride is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is not even useful in like eating crowds because the load capacity is like next to
Oh,
nothing. So I
terrible.
don't miss this. It's just now going to be this static eyesore until they figure out what's going on with
Yep.
it. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Tyler.
It's okay. We did a ride rehab about this whole area, and we did research, and Pete looked this up as well. It's literally a carnival attraction that you pick out of a book when you don't know what ride to bring into your theme park, and it takes like 2 hours to build this thing, and compared to like, I don't know, let's say like Tron, which takes 400 years. And when I heard that the ride was down for maintenance, I'm like, that's not surprising. It sounds scary. It's scary when you're on it. I mean, like, construction-wise.
Because you
Like,
think
it
it's going to
does not
fall apart.
look-
You hear loose screws rattling about, and you're like, this thing's going down today. This is it.
It's a
And
carnival
Ben, you said you were
attraction.
tired of money grabs. They're charging kids for carnival games. But that's not what we go to Disney.
It's the hockiest area. It's the kiddie
It's the
area,
I gave up.
arguably, of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
With their rinky-dink carnival attraction.
The Canadians pissed, and you know what that means. They've gone too far.
We know bad carnival attractions. We have the Canadian National Exhibition. It's nothing but that. You can go on Primeval World at this thing. Not really, but pretty much.
Close enough.
Oh.
Just take a stuffed dinosaur on it with you, and you'll feel like you're there.
There you go.
Or, yeah. Put your Chip and Dale doll in pajamas.
Oh gosh. Speaking of people dancing around in pajamas, I guess.
What?
Guardians of the Galaxies back in World Showcase.
Yay!
Ta-da.
And
I
there's some
wanna
specialty
talk about
food
this.
too, but that's not quite like if you want to look at this thing that looks like the Krabby Patty that got flushed down the toilet. That's
It's a
Looks
pretty
like you're
patty.
eating something on a moldy bun.
it really does. Like I'm sorry,
You know,
that just looks bad, but
I
There's
would
an episode where
ingest
SpongeBob
none
gets
of that food,
Yes.
but there's something very 80s about that like tie-dye looking bun, because I remember
Yeah.
growing up, like my aunt used to like be like, "Oh, you want some color in your milk?" and she'd put in like food coloring and be like, "You can have some like blue milk or green milk," which we can now get at Star Wars. It wasn't plant-based when I was a kid. It was just good old-fashioned whole
So-
milk from a big jug.
You think that bun reminds me of your aunt? It reminds me of my aunt, too, because that bun looks like there's mold growing on it. That's not appetizing to me at all. It literally looks like I pulled up my aunt's drawer and I saw, like, are these still fresh? She's like, I think so. That's what it looks like. Pull up the picture, Ben. That's what it looks like. Tell me that's not mold. I don't even
No,
want to
it
eat that.
is.
Ugh, gross.
Oh, it's
However,
completely
I want to-
unappetizing. But everything
The
about the
option
80s
not
was I agree. Everything
The
about the
ultimate
80s was
fries
completely unappetizing, so it fits.
the fries look good. Yeah.
The fries
Put
were
it in a rainbow
fantastic. I
sauce,
had
though.
the fries. They were super good. If you're gonna be there and you want some fries, go get the awesome mixed fries. They were awesome. Like, it was literally me and my niece split it as our dinner. It's huge, it's massive, but pulled pork, macaroni and cheese, bacon, like it was terrible, but it was delicious.
Ugh.
I don't know. I'm super happy the show is back. I never got to see it last year. It was so much fun.
It looks
And
like fun.
I was stunned. If you like classic rock.
Pat
I mean,
Benatar.
they've got Queen, they've got Pat Benatar. It's fantastic. I was blown away at the voice talent. The singers were phenomenal. I'm pretty sure the guy who played the lead Xandarian guy may also be a guy who plays Crush in the Finding Nemo the musical in Animal Kingdom.
Those voices of
But
Liberty
the-
got some range.
Their voices were stunning. The show was really fun. The music's really good. Like, to be honest with you, I would watch this over most of the Garden Rocks and Eats to the Beats concerts that they list, like, any day. Seriously, I think it was better.
Fair
It was a
enough.
lot more fun. And Like there was a little bit of theme to it. You had cool fireworks inside of glass boxes. You had Groot on the screen. Like it's just cute. It's fun. If you're there, go see it. It's really enjoyable. It's a fun experience. But I also randomly I went the first day, came back, and there were people who would be waiting in the standby line for like an hour beforehand.
Good
Please
grief.
do not waste your time with that.
No.
It is completely unnecessary. We walked up 15 minutes before the show started and got fantastic seats. The first day it came back. Don't waste your time
And it
waiting.
runs a lot, doesn't it? Doesn't it run like 3-4 times?
Yeah.
More than that, yeah.
Oh,
It's almost every hour,
That's
if I
awesome.
remember right.
oh
like
then
every
yeah,
hour,
no
hour and a
standby for
half.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was bizarre that people were sitting there waiting. I didn't understand.
Yeah. Well, to close out tonight's show, which has been a lot of big downers, really. Here's something good to close things out here. So a little while back, Disneyland put a shop inside of the Main Street Cinema. This made people very unhappy. Disneyland has now come around and said that they are going to be removing the shop from the cinema. They
Hooray!
put stuff in here. It looks just... This used to be this nice little place where you could just duck in and watch some old clips, and it was really neat. And then they turned it into merch, and there was no need for that. And I'm really glad they're putting it back.
It's not a shop. It's like a few extra racks and a POS booth that they had lying around. That's
Yeah.
it's not even a shop. It's stupid. I've seen lovely videos of people filming the stuff in there, and I remember the whole Tomorrowland alternate reality game that was put in there at one point, and it's in Epic Mickey as well. It seemed like just a nice little slice of Main Street as it was, and it was whose decision merchandising, obviously, but anyways, it looks so bad. It's not even,
But we have a
it's not even
lesson
real
we can
shop.
learn. We have a great lesson to learn here. When Disney does something and makes a choice and the fans are really upset and are vocal about it, who have the possibility that it may be rescinded. So, wrapping it back to our first topic,
Yeah.
if you are upset about Country Bears, voice your opinion. Make it known, because maybe it won't happen. Maybe they will change their mind.
Save the Jamboree.
Save the Jamboree,
Save the
folks.
Jamboree.
Do it.
And we all know that Disney fans are very vocal about what they care about. So please, just when you're voicing that opinion, voice it at Disney. Tell Disney
Yes.
what you want to see, and tell them repeatedly. We know you all have Twitter. We know you all know how to use it. Tell Disney what you think about the Country Bears.
Yeah. If only there was some unified front for everybody to get behind for helping with this. Stay tuned tomorrow.
I think maybe if you tune in to WDW News Tonight tomorrow night, they might have something to say about that. I think you should all tune in and take a listen.
What? No.
To be continued.
To be continued tomorrow night, folks. And also to be continued a little bit, at least, in our post show. So thank you all for watching. If you're one of our Wigs members, which is what we refer to our patrons as, be sure to stay tuned because we do have a post show tonight. If you're not one of our Wigs members, you can head on over to patreon.com/WDWNT. And for as little as $2 a month, you can help support this show and all the other content that we put out. Get access to the post shows for this show, the post shows for News Tonight, a whole bunch of other perks. Highly recommend you go check that out if you haven't yet. That is patreon.com/WDWNT. Also, if you're looking to book a trip pretty soon, maybe you're looking to go book something for that annual pass holder time in Galaxy's Edge, we highly recommend that you folks check out Never Grow Up Vacations, the official travel sponsor of WDWNT. They are an authorized Disney vacation planner whose focus is in making magic for their clients. And with over 20 years of experience booking Disney vacations, we're sure they can help you make your next trip even more magical. So head on over to wdwnt.travel to contact them about your next trip today. Like we already hinted at, News Tonight is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, streaming live. You can also watch the replays at youtube.com/WDWNT. You can also watch our replays there, and we stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also find the audio version of this show. Just search for ParksCenter wherever fine podcasts are sold, and you should be able to find us pretty quickly. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're sticking around for the post show, we'll see you in a minute. Otherwise, we will see you all next week.
Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-bum-ba-da-da-da-da-da.